What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. It is Tuesday, September 29th, and today I'm here. Chewy is back. How you doing, my dude?
Good, man. I've been on like actual camera in like 2 weeks. My eyes have been thankful because these are bright. I was setting them up today. I was like, man, I haven't like looked at these in a while. And I turned them on. I was like, oh, yep, been a minute. For those who don't know, I was sick all last week with what potentially could have been COVID. So that was fun. I did test negative. Those who follow tests have like 60% accuracy. So who knows? I'm feeling better now. So I felt like that. Like Tuesday, I couldn't get out of bed. But I'm glad to be back. And thanks again to Lang, who always comes in clutch. So just thank you, Lang.
He came in the last minute, hung out, had a good time. It was a good little talk with him. I appreciate him as always. Also appreciate One Above All. Thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate that. It's nearing the end of the September. So if you got people you enjoy watching on Twitch, I almost said YouTube. Doesn't have to be us, but you can get some money off for subscribing this month. So definitely keep that in mind the next 2 days, because it's almost the end of September. We're almost in full like fall mode. Today here in Texas, it was like beautiful.
It was amazing. Well, I'm wearing a hoodie because I finally can. I stole this from my wife. So just because she's very adamant that I know that it's not my hoodie.
Nice. Nice. Well, I'm very glad that you're feeling better, because I think we were all worried that we're not going to be good.
It was a little worrisome, you know. It was at this day and age, you know, it's kind of crazy that you just don't know. And then my wife got whatever I had like a few days after. So beginning of the week, I was in rough shape. End of the week, she was in rough shape. The household has seemed to recover. And this was right after our dog Howie had like a really bad ear infection. So it was just one after the next. But we're doing better now. Finally got back into the workouts, all that. But yeah, it was weird. Like Tuesday, I remember looking at myself and I was like, I'm pale. And I'm already pale. And I was pale. I was like, ooh. But thank you to all the people that sent me PMs and messages in the Discord and all that stuff. I really appreciate it. Helped bring up the mood, the spirits some. And if I didn't respond to you on Tuesday, it's because I don't think I sat at my desk for longer than 5 minutes. But other than that, we got a cool little topic that might seem a little negative, but I promise, you know, this is just open discussion about hobby fatigue, because it's a real thing. You know, so last week I sent Osiris this like block of text that was like, here are my thoughts on things you should talk about. And I wanted to talk about it, but I couldn't. But I was like, this is it was like one of the better ones I feel like I've come up with in a hot minute. And I was actually a little annoyed that I didn't get to talk about it, but I sent him this big block of text that I was proud of. And they crushed it because I knew they would. But it kind of plays on that. So if I repeat something, I apologize. But first, I've got a cool mail day. So I've had 2 weeks of mail days building up slowly. And I know you said you don't have a whole lot, but let's start with you.
Yeah.
What did you get in the mail and what is on your desk?
Absolutely. So for me, I got some Switches in the mail. Some Mauves. Just more Mauves. I enjoy them. And some creams as well, and then a buttload of lilacs. So excited about that. Excited about these. Excited to get them in boards and tune them up. I feel like I'm just gonna have a day where I just go ahead and get them all prepped and lubed and filmed and whatnot, just so that way they're ready to go. Because nothing's worse than when you like go to build and it's like the day before and you're like, oh crap, I still have to lube, or like you're like, crap, I didn't film the switches, and you're up all night lubing and filming and doing that whole shebang.
I wonder who's done that. Totally not this guy before the last 24-hour stream.
Yeah, both of us. I was literally lubing switches for one of the builds while we were doing the stream. And then what is on my desk? I had so a couple weeks ago I actually had some issues with some of the switches in this board. I fixed them all up and got it back up and running 100%. And
I got some all caps messages from Osiris.
But my iron 165 with Zykos. Nine's one of my favorite sets. It's getting real shiny. But yeah. Also, shout outs to Lividity. My Rookie of the Year Observer looks fantastic.
I should wear those tomorrow. I haven't worn those in like 2 weeks because it's been kind of rainy.
Oh yeah, you don't want to get that suede all messed up,
all janked up.
But yeah, had some issues with some of the Zykos, but got them all fixed, and it's back up and running, feeling better than ever. Still sounds great. It looks fantastic. I did try out Bingsu on it, and I prefer Nines. I prefer the way Nines looks.
I will proudly say I called that.
Well, especially with like the black badge, I just think it just aesthetically looks better. Bingsu does look really, really good, but I prefer the way Nines looks on it, and I like the way the Bingsu looks on the Sirius. So
they both look super clean. I just think Nines, because that board, it's, we've talked about this before. Sometimes if you get a cool colored board, you need caps that won't take anything off the board.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a really cool board, like if you get a really really cool colored board, you don't want to put something crazy because then it might distract and then it might be too much. And Bingsu's a set that will carry a boring board into an amazing looking build. And the plum iron specifically is one that I think it's so great on its own. That color is so cool because it's like 3 different colors depending on how you look at it, that you need something that's not going to take any shit off of that board. And I think Nines is the perfect fit for that.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because Nines doesn't necessarily detract from the color of the case the way that like maybe Bingsu would. So yeah, no, totally agree. I like it, and it'll probably stay like this for quite some time until I get something different in. But Chewy, you are up. What mail do you have?
I've got some cool mail. We'll start off. Osiris's Christmas present finally came in.
Hey.
It only took, I wanted to give this to him like a week ago. But when I started showing symptoms, I was like, hey.
Yeah, please don't.
I'm good. Maybe I won't bring you anything. And I was worried Friday, Delphin, what's up, man? I was worried Friday. I actually delivered some stuff, but I did a contactless delivery. I just dropped a box out front of his apartment. And then, but this is, I'm not flipping it over. I guess I can. But this is GMK Dual Shot. I typically, when stuff gets sent to me or stuff gets sent to Osiris and it's meant for the other person, typically don't mind, but since this is a Christmas present, I figured it's best that you get the full unboxing.
Full unboxing. Maybe you'll do a little unboxing on next week's stream.
A little live unboxing. So that's plus. Like I said, I got 2 weeks. Shout out to Archetype. Archetype sent over Space Goblin.
Ooh. Child.
He also sent over some other fun stuff. But this is the main one that I wanted to show off. It's pretty dope. The details it's painted really well. The detail's great. I think. I don't know what I'm going to put this in yet, but I've got a big keycap switch shift coming soon because I've got SA Godspeed that eventually will ship to me, hopefully, and then Ursa's coming to me soon. So there's going to be some rotations happening soon. So I don't know exactly what this is going to go on. Probably the OSA, just because I feel like it'll fit really well, and OSA has that little off the side. Dixie sent us this case to talk about. I will review this more. Nathan beat me to throwing this down a flight of stairs. throwing this around, but it's the Mecha case by Dixie. These are going to be showing up soon on the site. It's got. I really like the Dixie tags. I don't really care for this that much. If I'm being 100% honest, this doesn't do anything for me. I don't care. It doesn't piss me off that it's there because it's a case. Like, I don't like this. Doesn't make me hate it, but it doesn't make me like it anymore. But if you're into the mecha look, and then the case is, I mean, we've seen it before on something like the Iron 165 and other stuff. It's got my key colt in it right now. I mean, it's strapped in. It's a great case. I'm glad I was able to get one from him and put the key colt in it because the key colt, obviously, some of you may know, might cost a couple dollars. So, you know,
Very true.
If it's worth more than $20, you should probably take care of it. And the key colt can confirm is worth more than $20.
Yeah. Well, and one thing that's really good about those cases in variance to the like TX cases is it's a lot slimmer while still being very protective, right?
It
like,
offers the same amount of protection with no variance of with the variance of being a lot. I have one TX case left that I put my Singa or my Crown in because it's the bigger size. And yeah, it's like it's for the Crown it makes sense. For the Singa, I'm like, I want something slim.
Yep.
So, and then was that? I know I've got one more. I think okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I know I had. So I have not shown this off. $2,500 case comes with a free key colt. That's how these came. You get a keychain and it comes with a $100 keychain. Comes with an artisan.
Hey, that's how you got to do it sometimes.
So this came in 2 weeks ago. I didn't want to announce it yet because I wanted to show it off on stream. I will take pictures of it and post it. I've already got pictures. Some people seen it. If you know what this is, shout out to Jinly Bean because she designed the Zyko desk mat and the prototype,
Yeah.
Prototype has come in
for the Church of Zykos. Nice little
Church of Zykos. It looks more blue on mine because I have the blues a little bit more on my camera. I took the church part off because honestly, I just didn't really want to be associated one way or the other because some people say church, some people say cult. And you know, as most people know, I am very much apathetic on 99% of things outside of 65% keyboards. I don't really care about most things. So I don't want to be seen as someone that is potentially weighted one way or another.
The stained glass like aesthetic kind of puts it
does the job.
That across. Yeah. It does it without having to say church.
Yeah, it's like the kind of subtlety. I really like this though. Like I said, I'll get some more pictures and we'll put it in our Discord. I feel like I can use it now because I didn't want to use it for so long because I didn't want to drop anything on it. I literally got it out. I took a picture. I sent it to Jenly Bean, who designed it. Once again, thank you to her. This will be on sale before the end of the year. I haven't confirmed the actual date yet, as I am not going to interfere with the desk mats that she has going on sale soon, which if you guys have not seen those, they are dope. They're like leaf plant things. They're like astral leaves, and they look sick. So I'm not going to interfere with that because I don't want her to have to compete with herself. But it will be before the end of the year. So It looks really fucking gnarly. Excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. Might be a desk mat that I actually pick up.
I might just, give you one.
That too.
I think we could probably let's. All jokes aside, I may or may not get one without paying for one. Sorry, big money guys over here getting a free desk mat.
What's on your desk?
So, but yeah. And what's on my desk? So it's actually been on my desk for like 2 weeks because I do love this board and I have a hard time taking off my desk. And it's the Crown.
Oof.
It's heavy. One thing I will say is I have not gotten my strength back. But it's the Crown. It's got the Thulu. I don't remember the name. It's from one of the Summer Series ones. The allegedly bear and the little nook leaf from what's the name? Key Maker. I think they're Key Maker Works or something like that. With GMK Camping, it's got 98 gram creams. I put this on my desk, and I have a very hard time taking it off my desk because and I think a big part of it is I realize how much I love TKLs.
Yeah.
When I put it on my desk for a while, and I'm like, I just love having everything there. But I'll probably wind up, honestly, tonight, because I usually switch on Tuesday nights. I'll probably switch to my key because I haven't used that in like almost a month. It feels
nice.
But that is it for me.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the same way with both my Bower and my iron. Like if I want linear, I put my Bower on my desk. Like I had the Sirius on my desk for a while, and then I was actually doing some over the weekend. I did some typing tests, just like personally. Like I was doing some 10 fast fingers, just trying to see which of my keyboards I type the fastest on. And I was going through everything, and then like I put the Bower down, and I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so good. And then I switched to the iron, and I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so good too. So they're both very good.
It's when you get, and this is something that this kind of leads in. So quick shout out before I forget, quick shout out to our sponsors, Dixie Mechs, Switchmon.net, Project Keyboards, and Canon Keys, as well as our partners, Type Beast, Zap Cables, and Smith & Rune. We'll hear from more from them later. But when you find those boards that are so good, you can't imagine getting something that would pull, you get something on your desk, and when you have a hard time pulling something away from your desk, that means you've made something good, right? The Baka is something that I have a hard time because it's just so natural. To me, that's the fastest board I'm on. Typing wise, I've been typing on those switches for it'll be 2 years in December when I put those switches together. So like those switches I'm very comfortable with. I game with them. I know a lot of people might say like Holy Pandas aren't that great for gaming and heavier springs aren't that great for gaming. 78 gram springs and Holy Pandas, and I game with them all the time. That's one board that I have a hard time taking off. The Key Colt's another one that is hard to pull away. And Osiris and I have talked about this extensively over the last few months of like, where do you go once you get all these amazing things? You start running out of things that you want. And does that put a negative perspective on how you view the hobby because you've already feel like you've accomplished everything you want from the hobby? You've already attained everything that Bueno builds. What's up, man? You've already obtained everything that you kind of want out of boards, and I know Osiris, is still on the look for the TKL, but there's things I'm just like, I don't know what I want. I had the Austin. I thought I loved that. I still very much love the Austin, but I wound up selling it because I just didn't use it that much. And it brings up this actual conversation of like, at what point do you start going, I don't really need anything. I don't really want anything that helps your wallet. But at what point do you start backing off?
I think it's one of those things too that when the hobby kind of gets into not necessarily like a stalemate, but like
A lull.
a lull, right? Like where there's nothing like crazy, nothing super innovative happening, or it's there are people talking about it, but it's not, it's not going to group buy soon, or it's just kind of like a whenever it happens, it'll happen. That's when it's easy to kind of get into that. Well, I'm really happy with what I have. I don't want to buy everything, and I think right now too a lot of people are having this same like thought because of with everything with COVID over the last couple months, people being out of work or not making as much money as they were before. Some people took new jobs. Maybe they're making a little bit less than they did before. They maybe don't have as much money to throw around, and they're realizing that they're like super happy with what they have, and maybe they just buy key sets instead of buying a board every month or 2 months. I don't know, it's one of those things. Gnarly Charlie for You says it's not a completionist hobby. I don't think it is, because it's always innovating. And I think that's kind of my stance right now, is that like when something comes out that I'm excited to try, excited to get on my desk, that's not just more of the same old, that's when I'll be looking to purchase something. Because I'm like you, I'm super happy with some of the boards that I have, and I'm super happy with my collection right now, and I'm just kind of like, well, if I brought something in, I'd probably want to get rid of something else, and I don't really know what I would want to get rid of. So it's just kind of like, yeah, I'll chill.
Yeah, it's tough because like, I'll start this little expose tonight on how I am feeling about the hobby. And I'm not leaving the hobby. So before I'm not leaving the hobby, I'm not leaving Mechs on Deck. I'm not quitting. I'm not selling all my shit. So don't PM me for things. I'm not. I'm. What's reached is I'm content.
Yeah,
I'm happy. I'd love for SA Godspeed to fucking show up, but outside of that, and GMK Ursa, but I'm very happy with where I'm at, because whenever we started Mechs on Deck, which was last year, and early in late March, early April is when we officially launched our video, and plans that started in March. Cyrus and I didn't have but a handful of boards. And for a long time, we talked about what's on your desk, and it was just my TX60, my TX60, my TX60, my TX60, and we stopped doing it because we're like, we don't have enough boards to make this even interesting. So Static Age, lucky. I send pics. But there was so much that I wanted. I wanted the Fiel. I wanted, Keycold had started growing and started becoming more and more of a thing. But even when we started that point, like the Bauer wasn't announced. Smith and Rune, I don't even know if they had been talking yet. Like there was all these cool things that we didn't really have these cool, and we wanted key sets, and we wanted, these boards, but a lot of the boards that we were getting were just kind of meh. Like they were just kind of just like whatever. And I don't even own a board from that time period anymore. The oldest board I have is my OSA, and I got that in October of last year. So it'll be a year old here in about 2 weeks. Because I wind up kind of selling things and put those boards into new boards, or new stuff, like, glass ain't cheap. But it's one of those things that like I've reached this point. I've got my Keycold. I've got a board that I've designed myself, or not myself, but designed with Blind Assassin. But a board that started as kind of a dream that turned into a reality. I've got keycaps that I absolutely love. I've got enough keycaps that I have keycaps sitting in bags waiting for something else, something different. That's something that Osiris and I were always like worried about, of like, oh, I hope these keycaps show up in time so that I don't have a board just waiting for keycaps, or I'll have to do that thing that would drive me crazy, which is every time I want to use this board, I have to put keycaps from another board onto this board, which would drive me up the freaking wall. So I've gotten to this point where I'm very happy with what I have. I've got a nice variety of things, and I'm starting to look at things and I'm going, Ursa came out last year and I'm very excited for it. SA Godspeed's a very, very old set. These are the two sets that I'm looking forward to the most. I'm not looking forward to anything Infinity because right now Infinity is kind of dead to me.
Oh, I don't think you never talked about what you had discovered with your spacebar.
Oh, my sad face.
Yeah, you're horizontally warped, which is the unfixable.
Yes. So let's see if we can get this on camera.
They make you big. Yeah, horizontally warped spacebars, people, unfixable. Vertically, you can fix. Horizontally, not a thing.
Let's see if it shows up. A little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, you can totally see it.
There. Now it's a lighter back.
That's so bad.
You can see it. It's terrible. Yeah, I can't use the spacebar. It's fucking worthless. It sounds like garbage. So I just Infinity, get your shit together. That's all I'm gonna say. Get your shit together. I don't think anyone should buy anything Infinity until they've proven that they can get their crap together. I don't blame Lang. I don't blame TKC. I know that statement hurts TKC. I mean no harm to TKC. I enjoy TKC. They have good products. They're nice people, but Infinity hasn't done anything that's made me go, yes, that's worth buying.
Yeah.
That's $100 key set that is having problems $50 key sets or $20 key sets from Amazon don't have issues with. That's unacceptable. Anyway. So that's why, if you guys can see this, the JL1 that still on loan, but I couldn't go to the post office last week, has a white spacebar. That's from Minimal because I was lazy and I didn't go get the green spacebar. And I actually kind of dig the way it looks with the white spacebar. It actually looks pretty cool. So
just a little touch of white.
Just a little extra. So yeah, don't buy Infinity until they can prove their shit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So with apologies to TKC, honestly, if I was TKC, I would put everything on Infinity on hold for a minute. Like, just wait. Just wait until you can fix, because you're only going to cause yourself more headaches going forward. But then GMK is taking forever now. GMK used to not take forever. Like I was talking, GMK Olivia took less time. GMK Olivia, now granted, we're talking about 300 sets versus 3,000 sets, so I get it. But GMK Olivia round one took less time to color match and produce and ship than GMK Olivia round two took.
Yeah, which is not supposed to be the case when there's a when they already have the color match. Like, it's considered basically a stock set at that point, right? Like, they already have the color matching. They just have to order the pellets and then, manufacture the caps. Granted, I mean, COVID still put a little bit into it. You can give them about a month or two of time for that. But yeah, it is unfortunate that, like, what was it, a little over a year ago, like when we first started, we talked about how SA took forever, and like that was one of the downsides of SA. And now GMK is like right on that same, like, almost 1 year of production time, and like they're struggling with other things, like getting color matching samples out to people is taking forever.
Yeah, and in 33 days, GMK Terra will have started its run a year ago. And GMK Terra, which they didn't send one of the color samples. This is public knowledge, by the way. This isn't like secret. You can look this up on the Geek Hack. They're still waiting on their second round.
Yep.
And the group buy started November of last year.
Well, that
And
was why
it's
Bingsu took so long too.
Yeah. And Bingsu was what, October?
Yeah.
So yeah, a year. So it finished in just under a year. And that's what's crazy is Terra's going to take at least 3 months once the color matching's done. And we haven't even gotten to color match. We haven't even finished color matching.
Yeah, GMK Dracula's in the same boat. Like they're still waiting on more samples.
That's tough because you're trying to match colors to to something on a screen. That's one of those like wait.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those like.
But they are still trying to get another round.
They're still trying. Yes, they're still trying to get another round. It's tough. When I see all these things happen, it makes me hard. It makes me really struggle to enjoy looking forward to keycaps. Like Sloth is one of the few sets that I was excited about Sloth 8 months ago. And when I found out that it was going to be 8 months before it ran, I was actually annoyed, but go pick up GMK Sloth if you haven't. It's a great set. The only set that I've been excited about that has been like announced and started running this year was Grain. And we all know how that fucking well that turned out. Not Lang's fault again. And Dual Shot, I sent Osiris a message and I'm pretty sure it said something along the lines of, this is the first set I've been pumped about in forever. And I was really excited. I hopped on SA Dual Shot like immediately. Because I think that accent kit, I was like, you just made everything about GMK Dual Shot that I was not a huge fan of. You fixed it. So, not that I don't like GMK Dual Shot. I think it's a great set. I'm excited that Osiris will have it because I think it looks great. And I'm sure I can't wait to look at it in person. I'm going to force him to open it in front of me. But I think, it's a fantastic looking set, but that SA Dual Shots, and I'm not saying that as someone who's sponsored by Dixie, I'm saying that as someone who I struggle to get excited about keycap sets nowadays because I feel like we've done everything. I know we haven't, and I know we have to come out with these themes, and there's all the weeaboo sets that come out that are all soft colors and sub legends and go with some anime that may or may not be breaking IP laws. And I know that we've got these food themed sets and those are great and all. And I'm kind of excited to see what the Air Nation, the Air Nomads, that's one I'm looking forward to, but I don't know what it looks like. I might not like it. Honestly, I'm not that big of a fan of the colorway for the Fire Nation, but I'm also not a big fan of red to begin with. So I knew that was going to be a thing. I'm probably just going to pick up the novelties for it so I can have the 4 nations novelties and save a bunch of money. But there's just not a lot of things that I get super duper excited for. And it makes sense. I've got a lot of my favorite keycap sets. I've got a lot of cool keycap sets that I love. I've got a lot of keyboards that I love. I see these boards and it's like, oh, it's this awesome board. It's gasket mounted. I'm like, cool. That's the 15th gasket mounted board that I've seen in the last year.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things though. It's like, while it is kind of nice to be in this state, like to like see things and be like, oh, well, that's cool, but I don't really need it, right? Like appreciate things from afar. And like occasionally something will come up and we'll both be like, this is sick, I'm gonna get this. You'll be like, this is sweet, I want to get this. But it's nice to not have that like every month being like, oh my God, I gotta get this. Oh my God, I gotta get this. It is kind of nice to be able to just be like, okay, maybe I don't have to spend money on something this month. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden something crazy comes out and you're like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get this. It is a more comfortable place to be in rather than getting like way. Okay.
My wallet's super thankful.
My phone just decided thought I said, okay, Google. But but yeah, no, I'm super content with what I have, and I know you are as well. And I don't think there haven't been as many sets this year that I was super excited about. I got in on like Modern Dolch because I don't have that. I was really excited for oh my gosh, the Persona 5 set. Why can't I remember the name of it?
Metaverse?
Yes, GMK Metaverse. Um, I still want to get a cat set, but I haven't really been super impressed, and I really want to see more from Cat, just like you're saying with Infinity, but I would say on a lower level. Like they're not fucking up quite that hard.
We have some legend issues. We don't know how to keep a straight space bar.
But I would love to have a Cat set. And I would love to get another SA set. And like you said, I'm still looking for a TKL. But I'm just not. Nothing's crazy surprising at this point. It seems like everything's kind of hitting the same stride, hitting the same groove. You look at last year around this time was when the Satisfaction 75 had just run, the Bauer was announced, the Iron 165 was announced. Like people were super excited about it. And there are some boards that are like super progressive and are like pushing the community forward, but they're kind of like at a TBD timeline, right? Like the Lodestone and the Evolve. It's kind of like they're trying to figure it out, which is awesome. I'm glad that they're taking that time to really get it right and nail it. But it's kind of like I'm just chilling until something cool happens.
Yeah, and you and I are put, and a lot of people I know Quakeums feels this way. I know I'm sure Apiary and Mentorly and Nathan all feel this way. I know Nathan feels this way because he's talked about it. When you've built all these boards, when you're as fortunate as us to be able to build a lot of different boards and a lot of cool boards, things aren't as exciting anymore. It's kind of like, oh, that's cool. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. And like it's one of those things where it's kind of like it's just not there. 2 years ago, anything new that came out was mind blowing, and now it's like cool. It's another one of these. It's another one of these. That's why the Lodestone seems so cool, because I'm like, that's just cool. It's different. I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. And now gaskets are just the norm at this point. Like gasket boards don't excite me anymore because it's cool. Like I've got one, it's great. You've got one, you've got two, it's great. They're both great. There's a Bauer sitting on my wife's desk. That's a great board. But gaskets are kind of the norm now. They kind of became the norm. We knew this was going to happen. So now you have to start going, well, what else can I do? How can I suspend this plate in place in a new and different way? And that's kind of what we're having to deal with at this point. And I've kind of, to me, I'm like, once you've typed on a top mounted TKO, you've typed on every top mounted TKO, as long as it's the same plate like thickness. And I don't know what to be like super pumped up about right now. And is it hobby fatigue? I don't know. I've thrown myself a lot more into photography lately. I've been really enjoying taking pictures of my dog, taking pictures of food, and taking pictures of keyboards, obviously, which, by the way, shout out to everyone who follows us on Instagram. We hit 2,000 followers. That was pretty dope. Huge shout out as well to Lux Cables for helping us get there, with some shout outs in the story. But this hobby kind of led me to other hobbies, which I appreciate. But there hasn't been that need of, God, I really want that. Like I'm going to save up for this now. Like I got the Keycoat recently, and that was kind of the pinnacle for me. That was like, okay, that's it. I've got it. I've built it. Where do I go now?
Yeah. Well, and I think you put it perfectly of like when you own or when you build a lot of cool boards you don't feel like you have to own them, right? Like I know Nathan used to own significantly more boards than he owns now, and he sold a lot of them because he gets to spend time with some really cool boards and gets to spend time with some new boards, some prototypes on his stream, you know? Like I got to spend time with a Kepler, which I really, really enjoyed that build. I thought it was a fantastic board. That S7 Elephant, it was great, but it like went off my desk as soon as I was done with it because the front height of that thing is insane. And that's not for me, but you know, I enjoy getting to try these boards, but it's one of those things that makes me be more selective of what I'm purchasing, which is nice. And that's one of those things as the world kind of gets back to normal and ramps up, and hopefully we can start having you know, meetups soon. People will start to realize that they can go to these meetups and come to the realization of what they really enjoy by trying out other people's stuff. And I think it's the other thing is why I'm so excited about like the P3D cases, the SM keyboard stuff, because it's like so different and it's not like crazy expensive. Like you could just buy a whole bunch of those, like get a Romeo and a P3D case and you're out like 150, 200 bucks maybe. You know, get an SM keyboards with a copper or brass plate. It's, you know, a couple $100 and you're good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird because I didn't think that I would get to a point where I have boards that are valued at thousands of dollars and be excited about 3D printed keyboards.
3D
like,
printed or acrylic stacked acrylic cased boards. Yeah, I mean, I use right now because of keycaps, I use my SM60 is what I call it, my SM keyboards at work. Every day. I love it. I enjoy it. It's a fun little build. Yeah, Key of the Week is this past week was a 3D printed one. So, you know, things come around, right? Things will always come around. So to bring this conversation back around, things will come around. That's what I'm saying. I'm not done with the hobby, but it's harder to get excited. It is harder to get excited about things because I think we're at a standstill right now. People are coming out with cool things, but things are taking a long time. I am genuinely excited. Osiris and I are both going to be able to get our hands on the Evolve. I know we're both excited about that. We're going to be. I'm very excited to try the Iron 180. I think that's going to be a fantastic board. But I think a lot of these things, like those are cool because they're so different and new, but there's just not enough things coming out right now. And when you're new and you start something new, you know, we experience this with magic. You experience this with music and all this stuff. All that stuff's new. Everything is new. And then once you start kind of going deeper and deeper and deeper, you realize that some things are just kind of the same but different.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just we're at that point where we've truly kind of honed in on what our preferences are for things. And so now we're just a little bit more selective, which I think is a super healthy thing to get into for this hobby. And in that way, you're not going crazy every month, at least for us. Can't afford to do that, but I don't know. I'm in a weird way.
I make like $15 million a month.
In a weird way, I'm actually kind of excited because I know that once something crazy comes out, I'm going to be stoked about it.
Yeah.
Like once something really catches my eye, it's going to be something that I'm all in on and I'm prepared to go all in for. Which is cool because there's been a lot of stuff that I've purchased where I was like kind of iffy on it, even all the way up to hitting buy, you know, and putting in the credit card info.
You always are.
Yeah.
You will on anything. I have to convince you to buy things that you wind up loving. No, I still feel bad because I convinced you to get the Lumina. That one's on me.
You did. You did.
That one's on me.
Okay.
I take full. I feel like looking down in front of you, I've made up for it. But,
yes, you have.
But Osiris is the stingiest big spender I've ever met. This guy talked to me for 2 weeks. I don't care about hot coffee. And this guy talked to me for like 2.5 weeks about which hot coffee maker he was going to get. And I was like, sure, cool. And he's like, I don't know if I'm going to go for the Chemex or this. And he's like, I think I'm going to go for the Chemex. I think I'm going to go for the Chemex like 5 times. I was like, just fucking buy the Chemex if you want it. It's 32. I'll fucking buy you the Chemex.
Well, it's one of those things for like anything like relatively big. Like I'm the kind of person, I think this is getting to where I'm at in the keyboard hobby of like, I would rather spend a lot of money initially and be done with it than to just like get something that just kind of holds me over for a while, and then always be wondering, oh, well, what if I would have gotten this, right? Like to me, it's worth it to spend a little bit more to get something that's going to last a little bit longer. You know,
yeah.
It's like, that's just like my mentality with things. It's why, you know, even with like guitars, I would get like the lowest model. I would get something a little bit nicer because I wanted it to sound a little bit better, or I would look for specific things that made it a little bit better, last a little bit longer. You know, cameras, I went straight for A6500 because I was like, well, that's kind of like the best of the small cameras that I'm interested in. Like, I'm going to get that. And that's, I got a good deal on it too, which helped. But I walked around the store contemplating it for an hour and a half, but hey, you know, that's me.
Send me multiple messages about it. Should I do it? I was like, fuck it, go for it, dude. If it's a good deal. So yeah, I mean, that's where you and I differ, because I think I'm okay with trying something and kind of failing at seeing something, like, or being happy with something that, trying to avoid that thought, oh, I could get this. Oh, I could get this. Oh, I could get this. And, like, so for instance, I'm on the A6400. I could have gone for the A6600, but I would have wound up spending a little bit more. For those who are on the Sony lens or the E-mount lenses, the 30 millimeter Sigma lens is amazing. I take like 99% of my pictures on this lens. So at least with keyboards and food, I love that lens, but obviously being a prime lens at 30 millimeters, it's a bit of a, yes, that DD decline. But it was kind of one of those, I can go something a little bit less, spend a little bit less money, and be okay not having every single feature that would be cool, and be able to have, a little bit more spending room to get something else or something like that. And but that's where you and I differ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where, like, I know you didn't get the crown because, well, one, it was Christmas time, and two, I know you've been kind of holding out on getting something, the best TKL possible for you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with the crown, but to me, I was like, I know what this is. I know what I want. I'm going to like this. And guess what? I love it. Where neither one is right or wrong, but
just different approaches.
Different approaches.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you also sell things, and I have struggled too.
You hold on to, everything. I usually turn my things into other things. The only hobby that really, really deteriorates, but I usually spend a lot of time thinking about, is shoes. I do buy nice shoes.
And before Magic,
yeah. But I learned my lesson with Magic. But cardistry is my new hobby. Collecting decks is also addictive as fuck. See, I'm okay with not. Whenever I bought a deck of cards to like actually play, I remember I was like, spend $20 because these cards will last. We've all bought the bicycle deck that lasts 4 nights and 4 nights of shuffling. Maybe you can shuffle it 80 times and then the cards are just destroyed by the end of it. So I was like, okay, I'll spend a little bit more to get something a little bit nicer, but I don't play enough card games to do that. But I get it. I'm sitting here with a bunch of fucking I've got so many goddamn Funkos. So, although, to be honest, I don't think I've bought 80% of my Funkos.
Yeah, I think I gave you like 3 one year for Christmas, or 4, something like that.
I got like 14 for Christmas one year. So, because they're really easy gifts for like Christmas. It's super easy to be like, here's 10. But anyway, so hobby fatigue. Don't be afraid of it. Don't sell things because you think you might be done with the hobby. You might not be done with the hobby. You might just be done buying things. There's nothing wrong with looking forward to things. There's nothing wrong with, saying, I don't like this. This isn't worth it. I don't, like, to me, I don't like the number 2 TKL. Doesn't do it for me. This is a board. That's a board that I will never pursue because I don't like the look of it. I think while I respect the design and I think it's a very well designed board, to me, kind of boring looking. I've said this multiple times.
It's okay to be wrong. It's okay.
Noted. But I don't look at, there are a lot of things that I look at that I'm like, I don't care, and I shouldn't care because I need to listen to what I initially think. So,
yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people end up confusing the fatigue. Like maybe they confuse it with being upset at things or being mad about the state of the community or the hobby. When in actuality, like we said, it's just you've learned what you liked and maybe you just don't like what's happening right now. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Also, don't be a dick about it. Like,
yep.
But I mean, there's always cool stuff coming out. There's always something that's going to, catch your eye, and you may end up wanting it. You might not. You might be like, that's cool, but I don't really need it. It's not not an unhealthy thing to have. But no, like I said, I'm excited for the future because I know that what is on the horizon is very bright.
Yes. So the last thing we'll talk about before we get into some keyboards of the week. So last Saturday we did an Among Us stream. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and Osiris really enjoyed it. Well, I say I really enjoyed it. I was dead like the entire time. And posted on Instagram, I was like, I got murked like at the beginning of every fucking game.
Hey, but I never killed you. I just killed your wife a ton.
Hey, that's fine. But so we're doing it again this Saturday. Osiris will actually not be able to join us due to some previous engagements, but I'll be doing that. I'm trying to get Dixie, so hit up Dixie because he was like, oh, I don't have friends to play with. And I was like, well, fuck you. You're my friend. Let's play some Among Us this weekend. But we were talking about this right before the stream. We have never been super forward and super pushing of build streams. We love that, that was something we wanted to put more attention to and put more focus on going into 2020 was let's try and do more build streams. And we do. But if you know us, if you are on Reddit, if you're on Discord, you guys know.
Cool stuff.
What's up, Kimchi Jody Boy? If you guys haven't checked out Kimchi Jody Boy's streams, he does some awesome stuff. So go click his name and hit follow. But we don't focus on build streams. It can be difficult whenever there's two of us because sometimes it can get confusing. We live obviously in the same city, but we don't live so close that it's easy for one of us to just pop over, really, really quick. And so we're kind of going forward now with, we don't charge money for it. But we also don't promote it a whole lot because we don't want to undercut our friends who, someone like Apiary, they make a living off of that. And I don't want to undercut them and say, oh, we'll do it for free. That's not what we're about. We just do it for free because we enjoy building keyboards and it gives us something to stream. But if we don't have builds because we kind of get it by word of mouth and stuff like that, we're just going to game stream because why not? It's fun. This whole hobby started because Osiris and I liked gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things, it's, sometimes it'll be things like Among Us. Sometimes it'll be, games like Golf with Friends or Jackbox. Who knows what else it'll be? We may do some other stuff. And we're also want to get y'all involved, our community involved to come hang out and play with us, and get you engaged. We could even do marbles,
do a
stream of marbles. But it's one of those things. It's like if if we don't have a build, we're just gonna hang out and have a good time and have y'all come hang out with us and chat and watch us throw video games. Um, Orbs of Anxiety. Dude, I don't get why marbles are so freaking popular. Like every streamer that does like marbles ever, just they get like people are so stoked about marbles. Like one of the Overwatch streamers that I watch, every time he's in queue, he does marbles and he like increases in viewers because of him doing marbles.
That's awesome. But yeah, it's just something fun. We've talked about, you know, as much as we love keyboards, we would love to shift this channel to be more about just us two as personalities. It will always be a keyboard stream first. With when it comes to the Tuesday, Wednesday, we're not touching those two. We find that those two streams are very enjoyable, and it's something that we've worked very hard towards, especially the Wednesday night stream. That's something that we've worked very hard towards to kind of get it where it is. But the Saturday streams, it's a little more fun. It's something, and as well as we're not done building keyboards. We've got a list of keyboards that we still need to build, and we've got prototypes coming in and stuff like that. But for anybody who knows what it's like to source a bunch of builds every single week, that's why we don't do 2 builds a week, because it's a process to source boards. And like, respect to Apiary and Odos, IMEURU, and Nathan, anybody who builds boards more than once a week. Logistics on that alone are annoying, because then it's like, well, who's it going to? Is it going to Osiris? Is it going to Chewy? Who's going to mail it back? You know, money. It gets stressful. So
yeah. Plus the whole mailing it back process of like, you know, you forget and all of a sudden it's been like a week and a half and you're like, crap, I gotta send that.
Like, I promise I'm not stealing your board. I'm just lazy. But it's sitting in a box by the door and it hasn't left.
I mean, but hey, you know, and like we said, we want to also use it as a chance to kind of get community involved. So you can hang out with us, you know, and it be, you know, about the community and not 100% about keyboards all the time, you know, because that's not the only thing that we enjoy. We enjoy playing video games. We enjoy watching dumb stuff on YouTube. We enjoy looking at Reddit. You know, who knows? Maybe we'll do some weird media share stuff at some point.
I did an Instagram AMA, and like a third of the questions were about shoes. So like that's why I know that. That's why I know that I'm like I love. Granted, a lot of that helps because I take pictures of my shoes that I'm wearing that day whenever I answer. But like, I don't. That's why I love this hobby, because it's not just about people. You know, I get people that ask me keyboard questions all the time, but when I hang out with the people I met through keyboards, oftentimes we don't talk at all about keyboards.
Yeah. No.
But what time is it?
Well, I think we have one more website we want to show off.
Oh, yes. I'm completely forgot about this. Shout out to Elvision, Keeb Noob. She showed this website to me in our Discord the other day. This is a very cool website. So if you guys remember, keycap renders came and exploded the hobby. Oh, I'm on 2 over here.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'll fix you. I'll fix it. There we go.
We got there, boys. So this is a really cool website. If you haven't checked this out and you want to see kind of what a board looks like, it's faster than keycap renders. Keep Simulator is dope. If you type on it, that's the coolest part of the whole thing. If you click on it and type, the keys move.
Oh, do they really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
Like, that's probably the coolest part of the whole thing. So it's a really, really cool website. Check it out, guys. Just wanted to shout this out. And talk about, you know, I'd love to see that this leads to more people being creative. I think when, you know, there was a lot of like negative whenever keycap renders came out, because people were just throwing crap at the wall to see what would happen. But we also got a lot of good stuff. I'm sure this helped a lot of people kind of organize their thoughts. And I love that you can kind of plan your builds this way. We literally have an episode from like the first 10 episodes that was like planning your builds. And this is a good way to kind of see, oh, would I like this color combination? Is this going to be a good thing? And it's just a cool website.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Plus it's like, you know, sometimes you're thinking about getting a set. Maybe you're looking at buying something off Mech Market or not, or maybe you're looking at something that's like currently running. you can put in colorways here, which is pretty sweet. You can like make your own. You can also change the board up. You can add sub legends. You know, we can make it a TKL. You can add, you know, whatever this. I don't know what that word, how to say that, so I'm not even gonna try. Devanagari, maybe. I said I wasn't gonna try, and then I did. That's sub legends I've never seen before on a key set. You know, you could do cool stuff. Is that what?
Is that like Dothraki?
Dude, I have no idea.
Who knows? So shout out. I don't even know who made this website, but whoever made this keyboard simulator, is there like an about? Is there an about? Keyboard simulator is built using 3Js. Just says keyboard simulator. Well, like I said, I don't really know, but I think this website is absolutely worth shouting out. And Kimchi Jody Boy, I agree. I cannot wait until someone's like, look at this thing, look at these renders that I have. I hope someone tries to pass this off because, you know, obviously low effort. But it's better than KLE, better than going, here's my color idea in KLE.
Very true. Very true. But, you know, I think this is cool. This is cool.
Absolutely.
It's fun to get to see what it looks like. So, while I continue to play with it.
Yeah, I'm going to play with this a lot. Especially because of you can make the switches move. So, mad respect. Check it out, bookmark it. It's fun. Osiris, now what time is it?
It's time for Keyboard of the Week. Which, if you don't know, if you've never done this before, head on over to our Discord and put some pictures of your keyboards. But first, let's hear from Langlandia.
Welcome to Keyboard of the Week, brought to you by Mechs on Deck.
All right. If you are unfamiliar with Keyboard of the Week, let me open up a picture of a board that's in here. If you are unfamiliar with Keyboard of the Week, the way it works is you join our Discord. You can put a picture of your keyboard in the Keyboard Pictures channel. We're going to take a look at all of them. We're going to go through them. We're going to decide which one is each of our favorites, and then you will decide which one wins. And Chewy, what do they get?
They get their banner at the top. We're getting close. We're getting close to the end of the year, so we're going to do a little end of the year award. So I thought another thing. We got that cool. There's that trophy store over in Plano that I used to get all the like fancy football trophies for. Might get like a little trophy, maybe like a plaque or something nice, something you could put on your desk that's like props. You know, we had those cool Mech Madness ones. Might do something fun for that. So if you've been a part of that, we might do something cool at the end. But you get your banner. The keyboard is your banner. You get to be the keyboarder of the week, so you get a special role kind of towards the top. In the side of the Discord, you get to be bright pink all week. You also get to kick off the like 10 weeks ago winner on the slideshow, and your keyboard's on the slideshow all week. So pretty fun stuff. And like I said, we've got an end of year plan that Osiris and I, low key, we need to figure out 100% all the details of that in the coming weeks. Because
yeah, we definitely.
I'm sure we can get some giveaways and stuff like that going.
Absolutely. So. We do support my baby board. Yeah, the 2319, Wazowski 2319 or 2317, can't remember. That might be the favorite. Just for the meme. Just for the meme, that might be the one that wins. So guys, get your pictures in there now, so we can take a look at them, show them off, and
absolutely. So while you guys are posting the pictures in our Discord, quick shout to our awesome sponsors. You can go to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com, pick up SA DualShot running now through October 11th. I think this set is amazing, and I think you should go get it. You can go to, as well as they have other things. Keep an eye out on those bags, as those are going to be coming out soon as well. You can go to switchmod.net/mechs on deck. I know their stock's pretty low, but you can check out springs and stuff like that there. They've got awesome stickers, Keister stickers, as well as things coming up. They don't always run keycap group buys immediately, but when they do, we will let you know and keep you updated on all of that good stuff. You can go to Project Keyboards from mechsondeck.project.link. GMK Noir is coming out next month as a set designed by Apiary and Neflock, two good friends of the channel. It's going to be a fantastic set that's running next month. I'm very excited to see how that does. And then last but not least, canonkeys.com/mechs on deck to pick up GMK Yuru or Cat Mizu. Last couple days on those two sets. Those are both awesome sets, so be sure to go check that stuff out. As well as our awesome partners, you can go to typebea.st for Type Beast's newsletter. He makes the best newsletter in the business. Zapcables.com for some in-stock cables, buy some cable kits, as well as he's got some new desk mats. There's a jungle desk mat that looks really, really cool. And I know Osiris really likes the Hawaiian themed desk mat. So he does have, they're a little bit different size than the normal ones, but they are just as cool. And then Smith and Rune, keep an eye out for the Iron 180, as well as go pick up some cool clothes from Smith and Rune.
Absolutely. I know Elevision or Keeb Noob posted this picture a couple days ago, but I wanted to show it off because this is something interesting that we've talked about before. And it's taking a big brand, big box board, and this is a Poker Vortex Race 3. I think is the actual name. Yeah, Vortex Race 3. And this is just a standard board, like it's just off the shelf, and it looks fantastic. Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. You can get it on mechanicalkeyboards.com and throw on Camping R2 on it, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Note the you do have to obviously use Camping comes with a lot of novelties. Well, you have to get the novelties, but the escape and delete keys on this board are strangely placed, to say the least. But they work. It works with this set. It works great. I think this looks awesome. I think you avoid the diving board by just having a fucking red side of the board. I love it. I would love a green tilde. That's all I want out of this. I just want a green tilde. And I mean, I would also love split backspace, but you can't do split backspace on this. So I get it. That can be forgiven.
Yeah, you didn't really have a whole lot of options, but it looks great. And it's like, super inexpensive. So if you've got a board like this and you're like, oh, I don't want to get a keycap set until I get a fancy board, you don't have to, because this looks fantastic.
Like Camping Round 2 didn't have a tilde. That's actually shocking. Anyway.
Also, and she gave it to her dad, which is like,
yes,
freaking awesome.
It does not have a green tilde. Oh my God. I'm glad I didn't get it. Anyway, sorry. All I'm saying is this key just became super rare. If you haven't checked out her dad streams this awesome ukulele streams, and he is amazing.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty awesome.
Throw that link in the chat if you can. Keep noob. Next up, can't really see the board, but we know what the Kepler looks like. That's a lot of weight on that table. With Holy Jesus Christos, GMK Space Cadet on this. GMK Space Cadet Round 2 is coming out. That's going to be a very cool set. That's another one of those sets, though, that's the epitome of, I love when I see this on boards. I wouldn't own it myself.
Yeah. I totally agree. Space Cadet is not for me, but it does look fantastic. I believe this might be the exact same build that we felt at NorCal. I don't quite remember if it was the same switches or if he's rebuilt it since then. But yeah, I mean, the Kepler that I built is underneath it, I believe. And dude, the Kepler is so insane. Like, it's just such an obnoxiously heavy board, and just like it sounds so good and it feels awesome.
Mhm.
But yeah, I know people have some issues building them. I didn't really run into very many issues putting the one together I did a couple weeks ago, but man, if you have the opportunity to type on one, definitely take it, because they're definitely really cool and interesting boards.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we got up next?
Next up is a Dolch CR with GMK, phosphorus, and alpacas. Seen quite a few phosphorus sets on this keyboard of the week the past couple of weeks, which is interesting because it wasn't a very popular set when it first came out. I don't think it did very well.
It didn't. I know Brez has,
retail.
I believe, our moderator Brez. So, great looking set, great looking board. This is a 65% that I would own because it's got that cool Dolce look to it. I would not buy it.
So that's the
but I
caveat
love-
now. You'll
exactly.
own them, but you
I'll own
won't buy
but I
them.
won't buy. I won't spend a dime on them. They have to the caps, switches, everything. You better send me solder to put this because I'm not wasting. Kidding, but I love this Dolch board. I love when they came out. I seriously, this is before I really disliked 65%. That white Dolch with GMK Honeywell look to this board looked so good. I really like this. I really enjoy the look of this board. I love that top. It's just unique. It's different. There's nothing at its core of this board. There's nothing super duper crazy amazing about this board. It just looks really cool. It's in a very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. I mean, this looks fantastic. I'm sure it sounds great. I really love my mauve switches, which are the same as alpacas, just a different color. Phosphorus does look really good. I feel like phosphorus looks probably even better in person. I feel like that like mid gray, it's kind of like a middle gray, slightly dark gray. I feel like it's hard to picture. They're hard to take pictures of, but I think in person this set would look awesome. Yeah, I like it. I think it looks great.
Absolutely.
Also, what is wrong with these things' eyes?
I don't know. I just chose not to look at them. So next up, we've got a Canoe Gen 2 Silent Durox switches, GMK white on black with some cherry relegendables. Clean build. Can't go wrong with a black board with GMK white on black. You can't. Like it's impossible. It just looks clean. And the relegendables make this unique. I'm not a big fan of canoes, but what you've done with this build makes it look fantastic. I love that this kind of just black theme, the relegendables just adds a little extra something to it, which I really appreciate. So all in all, slam dunk, and it's got arguably the best desk mat that has ever existed.
Chewy is a big fan of Hexagon Dark. Yeah, this looks fantastic. Like, it's super clean. I much prefer this Gen 2 canoe over Gen 1. A couple weeks ago when we did our viewer question stream, people asked like what was our like least favorite thing that we've done. For me, it was building the canoe, not just because the board just had issues. Second, it was like the day that I went to go pick it up was when I got in a car accident. So that sucked. But this thing looks awesome. Yeah, bad memories. Yeah. This looks way different, and I think that this is a significantly better version of the canoe. I think, like, looking at this, when you look at Gen 1, it like makes Gen 1 look obnoxious, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, it's crazy to see how like the designs from vendors have changed over the last like 2 to 3 years. Everything's a little bit sleeker, a little bit more subtle. Not too crazy over the top in terms of the way that it's branded, and if it is branded in certain ways, it's a little bit more discreet. Whereas the canoe was like, I'm a canoe, and I say it on the top, and it's big, and I'm bold, and people are probably going to infill me.
J01, baby.
Yeah.
What board is this? I don't know. It's the J01.
Yeah,
So,
this looks great.
very
Also,
cool.
Relegendables, underused. They look freaking cool, and they're really handy.
Yes. Next up, we got a KBD 19X, an underappreciated board with Lilac switches, EPBT, Dolch, Delafen. This is a solid build. The only thing I wish is I've never been a big fan of the sub legends on the numpad. But outside of that, that's not anything you can control, obviously. But this is a cool board. Lilac switches. Cyrus and I are both fans of the fact that it's not a crazy in-your-face tactile switch. It's a solid tactile switch, an improvement over the MX Cherry Brown, which I think improvement when it comes to level of tactility without being so much in your face that it ruins it for you. Clean build, and it looks clean.
Yeah. I mean, this is like a classic looking board. Like, this is something that someone who has no idea that custom mechanical keyboards exist could see this, use it, and then begin to kind of like appreciate the hobby. Like, this would be a perfect, like, here, try this board to someone who's like isn't a believer yet.
Yeah.
Like, because this is everything that they would need. Like, it's not missing things. Like, the things that it's missing are things that you realistically aren't going to use very often. So yeah, I mean, it looks great. Brass plate that you can see too. And like Chewy said, the KBD 19X I think is a underappreciated board in the community. I remember when it came out and it was really cool, and not a lot of people were freaking out about it, and still not a lot of people freak out about it because it's just kind of there.
Well, they said it was too expensive. Now it's a great deal. So, and then, well, I'm going to say last up, but Moon's typing. So potentially last up. If I don't like what Moon posts, then we're just going to delete it. We got just 3 of the worst boards I've ever seen in my life. No, these are the Austins. The white one is specifically what is titled. So this is actually the Austin that Osiris built with GMK Oblivion. Very clean. It's got creams in it. I've typed on that board. It's a solid board. And there's the Austin Round 2, which is shipped recently. Solid. I mean, I love the Austin. I owned one. The only reason I don't own one is I just didn't use it enough.
Yeah, I was super grateful to Drifting Bunnies for him allowing me to build this a couple months back. It's a fantastic board. It looks awesome. Like, I still am in love with the indicator, like just the way that is designed with the triangles. Like, it doesn't even actually need the indicators. Like I just love that aesthetic of that being like the signification for the Austin, and that being kind of like, oh, you know that it's an Austin when you see that. Also, the weight looks really cool, and I always thought that he did a great job designing it and the way that it inserts. Yeah, it's a great board. Fantastic. It looks great with Oblivion. Oblivion's a classic set. It really fits well with that white. It goes back to what we've always said of like trying to match boards like an alpha color to the case or like a modifier color to the case. I'm never as big of a fan of that as if I'm more of a fan of like this, where it's a slightly different shade of like a similar color. So like this white being slightly brighter than the alpha white from Oblivion, I think works much better than if they like matched perfectly.
Yeah. Because then it would start looking like Apple aesthetic.
Yeah.
Super clean. Doesn't need to be like that. So those are our picks. We got some slim pickings, but that's okay. We are aware that obviously there's a very important conversation going on tonight between 2 gentlemen that could be potentially running our country here in America. So, and yeah, but we got what we got, and we appreciate all you guys who are watching. I'm gonna pick first because I'm pretty sure I lost last week since I didn't I didn't fucking enter. I'm gonna go with the Dolch CR GMK Phosphorus. Probably no surprise to you. I really like the Dolch. So let me get the poll up. What are you picking?
I'm actually gonna go with the Canoe Gen 2. Silent Durock switches with re-legendables, because I think this is such an improvement on the initial design. I cannot wait to type on one. But yeah, my dog.
I had to look up how to spell phosphorus. Let's see. All right, so poll is going to be at the top of your chat. If you're on a computer, it's going to be at the top of chat. If you are on your phone and you don't have chat visible, double tap your screen. It'll be at the top of your chat. If you are gaming right now and you can pause, but I understand it's an online game, you can't pause online games. Just go ahead, run yourself into a corner, into a building. You know, if you're in a Battlegrounds game and your friends are screaming at you right now, just blame Chewy. It's okay. Cast a quick vote to see who gets keyboard of the week. What do we got going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have a good friend of the channel, someone that we've had on a few times, and it's always a pleasure to have him hang out with us and talk. That is Mr. I Am Me, You Are You will be joining us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. So come hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. He's insanely knowledgeable and super smart individual overall, and just a really stand-up and good dude. So come hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. And then what are y'all doing on Saturday?
Saturday, we got Among Us. Going to see if we can get some more, maybe some other Keep streamers in on this. I'm trying to get Dixie, hopefully he'll show up, come out from under the under the hundreds and hundreds of boxes that he ships out every day. So hopefully we get that, but yeah, it's going to be Among Us. We're going to start again 8 p.m. Central on Saturday. So we'll probably play for a couple hours. So he's building a duck jet. So definitely going to just swing by if you want to watch some fun Among Us gameplay. It'll be a good time. And yeah, I'm very excited for tomorrow. We haven't had I Am Me, You Are You since the 24-hour stream, and he's someone that I have his phone number. Like we're good friends. We hung out at the NorCal meetup, and one of the most memorable memories of my keyboarding career is a dinner that we had with him. So yeah, and Brez, we're gonna make some more hams. Absolutely. Gonna make some more hams.
Absolutely. So the votes it's winding down. If you still haven't voted, tab back in, decide whether or not you want the Dolch CR with Phosphorus to win or the Canoe Gen 2 with White on Black.
Absolutely.
Brian, we can get you all the ham you want, my dude.
You want some ham? I'll buy you some ham. I'll buy ham and I'll ship it 5-day delivery. And just I'll throw it in one of those I'll throw it in a priority, maybe priority 2-day, and I'll just throw it in there with a couple loose ice cubes and hopefully it'll get there.
Who knows?
So guys, if you don't follow Top Clack, and please go follow Top Clack. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific. They are amazing.
Yeah, they did a really cool stream this past week where they talked about how they did kind of a hunt for what was the best thing you can get, a best bang for your buck keyboard that you can get. And they wanted to hit specific price points. And it was really cool. It was really interesting to see what they came up with and what the chat came up with and like what chat recommended. It was pretty cool. There were some boards that they talked about that I didn't even know existed. So.
There you go. I need to watch. I didn't see it last week, as last week I was, dying. But so I'll be sure to go check that out, guys. But yeah, follow Top Clack. Great guys. Love Jay. Love Quakeums. Because also, please no die chewing. Not yet. Not yet. I haven't met Langlandia in real life. I refuse to die. So, but no, but thanks, guys. Again, we're going to get the answers for this, and we're actually going to raid Mr. I Am Me or You and send him some love today as a little get ready for tomorrow. I'm excited because we haven't talked to him. This stream is a little shorter today, but don't worry, it'll be like an extra hour and a half longer tomorrow.
Yeah, it's always a good time. It always goes long, but it's always super insightful. The first time we had him on, I don't think I said a ton because I was just like consuming all of the information that he was releasing onto us.
And that was before we even met him in person.
Yeah, exactly. Good switches for typing. I mean, well, if you want...
Loaded.
Yeah, well, it's a loaded question. If you want linear, really anything from JWK is pretty solid. So like your novel keys, silks, your mauves, your alpacas, your novel keys dries, those are all kind of around the same type of switch. If you want tactiles, you can get something like a T1. If you want something that's a little bit crazier, you can go for some Holy Pandas, which you can still get on drop, I think. And then even people are really enjoying the Glorious Pandas. So it really just depends if you want a more tactile experience or if you want a linear experience. So definitely, if you have more questions like that, you can always join our Discord, come hang out, ask questions like that. And there's always going to be people that are down to help answer your questions.
Absolutely. So, but yes, the Dolch CR1. So I'm like, of the 20 times we've done this, I think I just got like my 4th victory. So congratulations to the chosen Juan on your Dolch CR with GMK Phosphorus. Thank you guys very much for coming out tonight. Appreciate it. Go hit up I Am You or You. What are we gonna say? We're gonna say I'll just say we'll just do tomorrow. Sorry, I'm making sure I spelled these all correctly. Nope, I misspelled them all. All right, we're just gonna do this.
See you soon, Poppy.
See you soon, Poppy. So copy paste that because I forgot to copy paste. I won't send you something I'm getting from Walmart today, but almost forgot to use the sponsor. Well, thank you for using the sponsor link for SA Dual Strike. Just throw them in your bookmarks. It's that easy, right? So see you soon, Poppy. So we're gonna hit up I Am Me, You Are You, and we will see you soon. I think it already started.
Maybe? It did.
Oops, missed it. I realized I was misspelled.